Hey everybody. Okay, I want to talk about chickens. Sorry, I'm in my office. Best That the only thing I can do for you at this point is I got chickens up on my screen. Okay. Yeah, I got out of the chickens, and I do cover that on a previous video about, somebody bringing diseased chickens onto the property, and it was something that completely out of my control. Anyways, I've seen several videos lately about uh, people talking about getting chickens to lay during the winter, and some of them they're not laying, and some of them are, and they talk about this thing and that thing, and a lot of them focus on the diet, which would have some bearing. But when I had my chickens, I always had eggs during the winter. And I did not use supplemental lighting. So why? Why did I have chickens? How did I have chickens laying through the winter? Okay. I'll tell you a secret. Yeah, I'm probably, letting the cat out of the bag here. I've mentioned this before in some of my videos, but understanding the nature of the beast. And that's so very important. That applies to horses, pigs, goats, chickens. Okay, everything. They have an innate nature about them. And chickens, if they're left to do what they are designed to do, stop laying their eggs when there's less daylight. It's just natural for them. However, there is an exception. If a young pullet comes to maturity in, say, late fall, and they start laying, they will lay all winter. It doesn't necessarily matter about the temperature. It doesn't necessarily matter about the diet. I mean, hey, if they don't have, if their gullets are empty, they're going to stop laying. That's just natural, okay? But if you feed them, you provide food for them. Okay, sorry about that, people. I got had a phone call coming in. I kind of had to deal with it. Anyways, like I was saying, pullets. Okay, young pullets. If they come to maturity, mid to late fall, will lay, in most cases, throughout the winter. Okay? That's just natural. Now, the following year, as a mature adult, come winter, yes, they will decrease the number of eggs that they lay. That is just normal. That's natural for them. Okay? There you go. So, if you plan accordingly, and that's what I did, is I was not necessarily interested in having eggs to sell. My main focus was to make sure that I had enough eggs for my family through the winter, which meant, okay, one pullet would have probably been enough for my family, but 2 pullets ensured that. Okay, and that would give me a little bit extra to sell to some people, okay? So I tried to make sure that I had 2 pullets to start the year off, to go into winter, that were coming to maturity mid to late fall. And that is what guaranteed me eggs throughout the winter. I'd never used supplemental lighting. It was contrary to the nature of the animal. Okay? Now, one thing that I did do is when I designed my hen house, is I had this nice big window oriented so that it would get a lot of daylight coming into the coop, okay, for as long as possible. Now, that wasn't going to keep it wasn't going to do for the whole winter because there is a natural decrease in lighting. But there was the window in the coop. I figured, it wasn't going to hurt, and it might help keep them laying a little bit longer. And also the breed. Some breeds lay more than others. Like, surprisingly, I'm not really a leghorn person, but those 2 old leghorn birds I had, they laid even through the winter on occasion. Okay? So the breed does matter. Now, my silver Sussex, now she pretty much stopped laying, and some of my other hens stopped laying for the winter. But the leghorns, I would get the odd egg through the winter, and any young pullets I had would lay. And Sesame Kettle, she was a gold sex link, I think they called her. She laid a little bit further into the winter. So your breed has something to do with whether or not you get eggs and their age. Okay, the age is important. So I'm hoping that this enlightens some people. It's not necessarily a special diet. Yeah, they need to have a healthy diet for a chicken. Okay, your protein and all that stuff, but as long as you're giving them a feed that is suitable for chickens, they're moderately healthy. There's no reason why you can't get eggs during the winter. Just understand the nature of the beast. Okay? Have a good day, and hopefully it won't be too much into the future where I get back into the chickens again. All right? Have a good day, people.